In today's video, we're doing a July recap and August reset. Let's get right into it. Okay friends, if you've seen one of these videos on my channel before, you know the drill. We're gonna keep the same format, but if this is your first time watching one of these videos or your first time on the channel, hi, welcome, I'm so glad you're here. This is basically the rundown. We start with a July recap, and I'll talk about some slow living favorites that I've compiled from July. Then I go into my journal and I go through these prompts that I always use every single month that are focused on reflection, goal setting, things like that. And then I do a mini Notion tour, so I go into my actual Notion account and I show you around, and then I move back into my journal where I set up my journal for August, which is quite simple actually, and I also make note of what goals I'd like to accomplish in August. That is the structure. Let's jump right into that, of course, starting with July's slow living favorites. The first category that I have, slow living favorites products. One would be my Baggu crescent bag in the size medium. I did a video detailing this bag and everything that's in there very recently. I think it was last week, and you all seem to love that video, so highly recommend you checking it out if you haven't already. But that bag is so nice. It's really versatile. I could put everything in there. It fits everything and more, and it has been really nice to carry it around everywhere and feel secure in having all of my goodies, including my slow living summer goodies as well. Another product is Notability. This is actually an app, but I have been loving this app. I actually discovered it from a fellow YouTuber called Apple Cheeks, and she works with Notability and she does some incredible creative fun things in there. And Notability is essentially a note-taking app, but I obviously don't need to use this tool for like studying or work or anything like that. So I've decided to pick it up in a more fun and hobby sense, if that makes sense. And I've been using it to keep track of my TBR pile, which is my to be read pile. I have many books on my TBR, and in the past I was bookmarking a bunch of videos or screenshotting posts to keep track of, or not really keep track, it was very messy, but to keep track of all the books that I wanted to eventually get to. And so I have moved all of those screenshots and saved videos into one giant list in Notability. It was so much fun setting it up, and I plan on doing like book reviews / notes to myself in there as well. So yeah, I have been loving it so much. It's so much fun to get creative in there, and I never would have thought to get creative with a note-taking app before until I saw Apple Cheeks get a little creative with it. So also highly recommend Apple Cheeks as a creator. I'm sure many of you all know her. But the last product on this list is gouache. So I am generally a watercolor person when it comes to paints. I have very recently picked up acrylics because I wanted something a little bit more vibrant and a little less translucent. And I have recently discovered gouache, which is a nice medium in between watercolor and acrylic, and I have been loving it so much. So it definitely has the vibe of watercolor. You use it in the same way that you would use watercolor, which is really nice for me because I feel comfortable using watercolor, but it has the vibrancy of acrylics, or very close to it at least. So I've been having a blast using this medium, and I am working on a little mini project in one of my sketchbooks. I hope to share it with you soon, but I'm not finished yet. But I have been having a great time. I think the ones that I use are Winsor and Newton. You might be seeing a clip of them right now, but yeah, they're really good, and they're super easy to use, at least as someone who knows how to use watercolor. The next category in my slow living favorites is experiences. So one experience is very simple, simply playing frisbee. So there was one weekend in July where we had absolutely nothing to do and we didn't know what we should do, but we did know that we wanted to get outside, we wanted to move our bodies, we wanted to enjoy the summer weather, even though the summer weather has been quite icky, let's be real. But we were trying our best. And so we went to a sports store, we picked up a frisbee, and we went to the park and we played frisbee. It was so much fun. I feel like I haven't done something silly and carefree like that in a really long time. And so it was a good experience, and I definitely want to take the frisbee out more often, maybe when it gets a little bit cooler, because the day that we went, although it was super fun, it was so extremely hot that we had to give up after a short period of time because we couldn't take it anymore, and we didn't want to like put ourselves at risk for like heat stroke or anything like that. Another experience is my very first influencer invite. I've never really been invited to a place before. I've never been invited to a trip before, but I did get my first invite in July to a brunch spot, and I did document this on my TikTok and my Instagram, and I'm not sure if it was on my YouTube shorts as well, but we went to a place called Citizens of, and I went to the Soho location, and it was so much fun. It was such a great experience. Everybody was super nice. The food was incredible. And yeah, I just thought it was super cool that I got an invite to do something such as visiting a place and creating content around the place. So that was a really cool new thing for me. And I got to enjoy brunch with Ian, which was a really nice switch up to what we usually do on Sunday mornings. We really don't go all out and get like a big brunch. Okay, and my last experience for July is taking a mini trip to Philadelphia. Now I feel like I've been saying that a lot this year. That was my third trip to Philadelphia just this year, and to be honest, I don't really find myself in Philadelphia, but we went for the third time this year because one of the local stores there, which is like in the Fishtown area, they were opening up a new location, and we have become very loyal fans to their first location, or one of their first locations, and so we wanted to go out and support this new location. So that's why we ended up going, and of course we made a whole trip out of it. We did a bunch of different things while we were there, but it was really nice to take a quick road trip. It was less than 2 hours to get there, and it was a lot of fun, and it was chill, and it made a whole experience out of just any old weekend. And then the last category in my slow living favorites is practices. Now I feel like my practices have been pretty consistent month over month, but of course I have to mention reading. I have been reading quite consistently every single month, and that is something I'm super proud of, and I will never not be proud of that because I haven't read this much. I think I was chatting with somebody, but I had said that I haven't read this much since college, and it's been some time since I've been in college. So I'm really proud of the fact that I've been consistently enjoying a hobby of mine and not brushing it off to the side to prioritize something that's more work related, because that is something that I've historically done. Yeah, I'm really happy about that. And another practice is body movement. So in Q2, if you watch my quarterly review for Q2, you'll know that I really slacked when it came to body movement, at least when it came to challenging myself. I feel like I was at a standstill for many months of this year, and this month I kicked it up, not even by a notch, by more than that. I would say a landslide. I have been really challenging myself to walk more, and in addition to walking more, I have been picking up some more fun and interactive ways of body movement, such as strength training. I've gotten back into that, doing like incline on the treadmill, frisbee, sports, running around, playing around, just being silly, things like that, playing cornhole. So it has been very active when it comes to my body movement this month, and I couldn't be happier. Okay, so those are my slow living favorites. Now I'm gonna pick up my journal and go through the prompts that I always go through, and I'll read the prompts out so that you can take note of them yourself if you haven't already. But I like to just let everyone know where I get my planner from. This planner is the RDM planner. I got it from McNally Jackson in Soho because they have like a huge stationery section, but I have been able to find this on mochithings.com as well. Just look up RDM planner and it's the A5 size and you'll be able to find it. It's a very standard planner. It's nothing special at all. It's not a bullet journal or anything like that. It's just a standard planner, and that's what's working for me these days. So I do recommend, by the way, if you are interested in getting it. But let's go through these prompts. So the first prompt is my top 3 accomplishments. So for me, that was getting fully monetized on YouTube. Insane to me. I know I talked about being monetized on YouTube before, and that was like one of my accomplishments from a previous month, but at that time I wasn't fully monetized. I was only partially monetized to use like certain monetization tools, but now I'm fully monetized as of last week, and it's just so unreal to me. That has been a goal of mine for years, and this is the year where I took that specific get monetized goal out of the picture and just focused on YouTube for the sake of creating on YouTube, and then this is the year that I get monetized. So that's just mind-blowing to me. I'm so grateful and happy to have your support and for everyone who's here. And I will forever hold that as like an accomplishment of 2024, period. Another accomplishment is that I made a lot of summer plans. So I think every single weekend in August is completely booked for me now. And I do have some stuff still for July that I haven't even done yet. And we're at the end of July when I'm doing this video. So lots of summer plans. I am so grateful for that. And I'm really excited for many of those plans, if not all of them. And you'll probably hear about them when I start setting my August calendar up, so we'll talk about that soon. But my third accomplishment is that I got back on track with my quarterly goals. Like I said, my Q2 was not the best. It was really weak, to be honest, and I feel like I really got back on track here. You'll see that in the Notion mini thing very soon. Prompt number 2, feelings towards my long-term goals. I wrote down that I feel really, really good. I made progress on every single thing that is on my giant list of 2024 goals. It's not giant, but like my long list of 2024 goals. And the biggest feel good vibes I have are towards YouTube, which one of my goals is to really focus on YouTube, which obviously I just talked about, accomplishment there, and workouts. I have a goal to just challenge myself, and as I've mentioned, I really challenged myself this month. Prompt number 3 is my focus for August. And what I have are 3 things. A home project, which we'll get into soon. The podcast, which if you did not know, I have a horror podcast with my husband Ian. It's called Live or Alone Podcast. And season 4 is premiering in August. So of course I'm going to be focusing on that. And ending summer / preparing for fall. Obviously August is going to be the final summery month for me personally. I know people will try to stretch theirs out as much as possible, but for me, August is my cutoff, and I would love to start preparing for fall because fall, September, October, November, December, actually heading into winter, are the busiest months of my entire year. So I want to be prepared. My birthday is in September. It is a big milestone birthday for me too. So lots to prep, and I want to prep in August ahead of time. Okay, prompt number 4 is upcoming challenges for my focuses for August, and I just wrote time because I feel like that's my challenge always, is finding the time to get to every single thing that I want to focus on. I am gonna try my best, and that leads into the 5th prompt, which is how to overcome those challenges, or one challenge rather. And I wrote down that I'm going to create a schedule for each of these things that I want to focus on that is approachable, because I always tell myself, oh my gosh, I'm going to schedule these things, I'm going to divvy up the things as I always do, and then I don't actually do it. I procrastinate. I need to find a way to not procrastinate by default, because once I do, I'm not going to stop, and then it's going to be a mad scramble as always to get these things done. So wish me luck. If you have any tips on how to not procrastinate, let me know, but that is going to be how I overcome this, and I really, really need to stick to it. But the last thing that I have over here, I just wrote down skin and fitness. I kind of do like star ratings for those every single month because those are things that I really want to make sure that I'm keeping track of. As you all know, or maybe you didn't know, I had a lot of skin issues last year. I ranked this month a 4 out of 5 stars. I haven't really broken out that much. I did last week for a little bit, so that's why it wasn't a perfect 5 stars, but more or less really good. And then fitness, I did 4 out of 5 stars as well. Again, I was really, really happy with my body movement in July. The only reason why I didn't give it 5 stars is because I do want to go outside a little bit more. I want to take my body movement outside, and I feel like I haven't really done that at all this summer, aside from, the Frisbee and a couple of times going outside. But yeah, so that is my journal for now. We'll come back to this, but let us move on to the Notion tour. All right, y'all, welcome back to my Notion. I think I made some changes since you last saw this. I changed around the images that are in here because I didn't think that it looked as nice, at least not for me. So I made it really, really summery, and as you know, I like to change these up with the season. So I'm definitely going to change this up soon for the fall. I cannot wait for fall. But this is what it looks like, and I am going to live in this area mostly. Everything else here is just kind of like a redirect to what's over here. So starting with the top, I have my Q3 master to-do list from 2024, and these are just like a brain dump of things that I wanted to make sure that I got to within this quarter. So I have some cleaning up to do. The first thing is to cross this out, social hangout which is 5 to 10 minutes per platform. This essentially means me spending 5 to 10 minutes on each social media platform, just engaging, commenting back, hanging out basically. And that's why I call it social hangout. And I have been doing that very consistently. So I'm just going to cross it off, and I know that I'm going to continue doing it because I have a nice setup of it. So there's that. The next thing, caption/storytelling brainstorm for Instagram. I have been switching up the way my captions are on Instagram. I've been making it a little bit more conversational, just sharing some personal updates and, trying to make it more engage worthy, if that makes sense. People will want to actually engage and vote on the polls and stuff like that. And I would consider that a success because before I was creating really short, snappy captions, thinking that was all that people cared about. But I think this is a better approach. The more slightly lengthier, more chatty stuff. Okay, next, accomplish 5-3-30. I will say I've gotten started on this, but I have not completed it. So I'm just going to highlight it, and the highlight is going to mean that I'm working on it right now. And then when I've completed it, I will switch it over to this. But yeah, I am well on my way. I think right now I'm at 5. I think I have this written down incorrectly. You all know I have an issue remembering this. But anyway, I have made strides. Okay, next, coordinating 1 to 2 new blog series. I have drafted up some new series on my blog, slowmorningdiaries.com. I have not posted them yet, so I'll highlight them because they are in progress. The next thing, research shower conversion. Where do I look? That's a question to myself. That's also a question to Ian. I will get into this when I talk about house projects. But I have started the research somewhat, so I'm going to highlight it. Okay, next, content research, dump for TikTok. Have not started that. Have not started casual video content on TikTok. Have not started this or this. So all of these I haven't started yet, but I'm not worried, to be honest with you, because of this master to-do list. I've gotten to half of it, and so I'm fine with that. I still have a few months left of this quarter. And then this last one here, paint kitchen cabinets. So that was supposed to be my big summer project for this year in terms of the house and renovations and fixing things up. But we have decided to delay this much further. We've decided to do a complete kitchen renovation, and that includes the cabinets, backsplash, the counters, all of it, all at the same time. And so we want to save up on that and do it all at once instead of just doing one piece by piece. So I am going to turn this red, and then I'm going to strike it, to say that we are not going to proceed with this project, at least not for this year. Maybe next year, we'll see. You and I will both find out. But that is a master to-do list, a bit of, switching things up, cleaning things up. I think it looks really good, especially for the first month out of the quarter. But let's move on to house projects over here so you can see what I was talking about when I was talking about the shower conversion. So, as I've said, before we said we were going to do the kitchen renovation. Before it said painting the kitchen cabinets, now it's a complete kitchen renovation. So I have marked it as in progress because we did make progress on it, but I did not put a due date because I don't know when that due date is at this given moment. What we're going to do instead this summer is convert our bathtub into a walk-in shower. That is one of the biggest things that I wanted to do in the bathroom, probably the biggest thing that I want to do in the bathroom. Convert it, take the bathtub out. I do not take baths, and turn it into a really nice, modern-looking walk-in shower that has like a little, not pedestal, not like, I don't know if it's a sitting area, but there's kind of like a bench inside showers, walk-in showers, that I want to do as well. And so just completely switch that up, and I feel like that is going to be a little bit more affordable and doable on our end for this year. So I've swapped out the kitchen renovation, and I've swapped in the walk-in shower. I've given myself a deadline of August 31st, so that's why I'm talking about it right now. And I marked it as in progress because, as you saw from the master to-do list, I'm starting to do research on the shower conversion. What do I need? Where do I need to look to get tools, supplies, somebody to come in and actually do it, the work, stuff like that. So that is, I think, pretty much it that I wanted to show you. I do not think there's anything else. So yeah. Okay, so I hope you liked that Notion tour. Did a lot of cleaning up and we did some shifting around, but I am totally happy with the direction that I'm going. So now let's get back into my journal and look at August. So typically when I set up my planner for August, I start with this page here, which is just a calendar, and then I plop in any dates that I need to make note of. And I usually look at my phone. I look at Google Calendar, I look at Google Keep, I look at anything that I have in my phone that I've written down that I need to make sure that I remember for the upcoming month, in this case, August. And so obviously I can't show you that because I'm recording using my phone. So what I did was I used some like transparent stickies. I've shown this in a video before, but I put the notes here on those stickies. And so when I go to write everything in, it's all here, but just know I looked at Google Calendar and Google Keep to get this information. So I just have a bunch of different dates, like time off that I have. The podcast season 4 is premiering at the start of August. It's August 7th. I have some friends' anniversaries. I have some friends' birthdays. I have some parties I've been invited to. I have a summer-ween party I've been invited to. My wedding anniversary is in August as well. A lot of things happening in August. And then I also have some goals. So once I plop in all of those dates into the calendar over here, I'm going to put some notes on the side over here. And these are just general goals that I want to get to in August. They can be very simple. They can be related to my larger 2024 goals list, whatever I need to remember. And I want to make sure that I'm carrying over from previous months or from my larger goals list. I just put it in here. So what I have is to put away money, because that's part of my 2024 goals list, is to save money every single month. Getting gifts for multiple people, because like I said, there are multiple anniversaries, birthdays, things like that happening in August. And then the last thing is to plan my birthday. I know that might sound weird because it's a milestone birthday for me and somebody else should probably plan my birthday, but clearly, after watching this video, you know that I like to plan, and so I want to plan my birthday because I want things to be very set in place. I'm very type A, if you couldn't tell. So I'm gonna be planning my birthday. It's gonna be very, very simple and chill. I don't do anything big for my birthday anyway. It's mostly just making sure that I get the cake that I want. But you'll see more about that in September. But yeah, that is what I have planned for August. Lots of things. So the next recap / reset that we do on this channel might be busy. So stay tuned for that. But that is all for this video. I hope it was interesting. I hope it was fun going through all of the things that I personally went through in July and hopefully in August. But I would love to hear from you. I would love to know what you accomplished in July, whether it's something super tiny or something super big. I would love to celebrate with you. And I would love to know what you're getting into in August. If you're with me, if you're basically cutting off the summer vibes in August, let me know if you're on the same boat as me there. I know some of my viewers definitely do align with me there. But thank you so much for hanging out with me today, and I will talk to you in next week's video.